So this is an evangelical's look at Mary, mother of Jesus, kind of like Noah, but that is Darren Aronofsky's like Jewish version of Noah. This is DJ Caruso version of Mary. Is it good? Because I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now, and not a lot of people like it. But what about this guy? Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon reviewing Mary. So it's about pretty simple premise. This is talking about Mary's parents, Mary, and what she is envisioning, what she's going to go through with Joseph to figure out who she is, and will she be the mother of Jesus? And the question is yes, of course. But with this movie, did I like it? I think it's getting a little bit too much hate in my opinion. Yes, I understand that some people might be like, this is not part of the Bible. Why is Joseph sword fighting? Why is Mary on a horse going through fire? This is not part of the Bible. Okay, I might be making fun of people that say that, but at a point, yes, you could read the Bible and trust in the Bible if you're Catholic or religious or, whatever religion, because you have the Quran for the Muslim and things like that where they have their own stories. And kind of like heretic, religions do borrow from other religions. It is absolutely fascinating and true. But at a point, I don't mind liberties taken because not everything that happened is probably in the Bible. Did Joseph have to fight off people to save Mary? Maybe. And maybe he didn't tell the apostles, or the apostles didn't know that because that's before Jesus' time, or the Old Testament and things like that. So at a point, I don't mind that, like, maybe Mary was on the run from a Roman oligarch who thought he was the one and only God. Maybe I do believe, like I said, Joseph was in the sword fighting. Yes, even the Bible, it says Joseph was a lot older than Mary, and that age difference wasn't shown here. But I didn't mind it. The movie looked good. I thought it was written pretty well. I thought the acting overall was solid. I think it didn't overstay its welcome. Yes, was there glaring flaws that sometimes it felt like a play, or sometimes the surroundings did feel cheap when it came to some of the housing or some of the editing choices with the battle, and maybe not having Satan in this movie, because at a point, I understand they want to put the angel of Gabriel in the movie to say, like, Mary, you are going to be the son of Jesus, or Mary's parents. You're going to bear a daughter, and she's going to have huge just consequences in this world. Or maybe he goes to Joseph and says, you know what? Maybe don't fish here. Go around the bend, and you might have some better time getting some food there. Hint, hint. Mary's around the corner. And I think that is interesting, too, that I don't think Joseph gets enough credit or talk about when dealing with this, because he was kind of thrown into it, too, saying, hey, there's going to be some, because also, like, they called Mary a whore in this show, and I could see it as well, because at this point in time, too, when you have a child out of wedlock, it's not a good view. You're going to get stoned. I mean, you even get stoned right now for, like, women being raped in Iran. You're stoned. You're gay. Thrown off a building. Queers for Palestine. So, things like that, where, like I said, Joseph doesn't get enough credit for, like, staying by Mary's side of, like, during all this shenanigans. So there's Anthony Hopkins playing the ruler. I think does a good job where his power gets to him, and you could tell his old age is showing in this story as well. But I didn't think I have a bad issue with it. Getting all the sons and bringing them to Anthony Hopkins so he could kill every single one of them. They don't show it, and it doesn't occur, but you're just like, damn, some brutality. Like, we say we're violent in today's day and age, we're pretty violent there as well. And when I was watching this with my mom, I think she was expecting a series, and it wasn't a series. It was just a, quick 2-hour movie, which I think that's the right way to do with this. Tell the story, be done with it, end of subject. Like I said, my mom is not the biggest fan of having the devil. Even though she's kind of religious, she doesn't believe in the devil, and I find that kind of interesting, that you talk to priests, and there's like, to have good, you must have evil to counteract. So I find that fascinating to put it in there. And I do think there is some good elements to, like, does Mary have doubt? Maybe it's not really the devil, it's her having doubt of, like, maybe, should I have this kid? Why am I chosen? Like, those things could just, like, pinging in her brain of having that. There are some dream sequences that are a little bit confusing, in my opinion, especially there's one where, like, Joseph stabbing the devil, or the doubt character, or Satan, I'm thinking, what does it actually portray in the story? What is it actually trying to say? Because, like I said, it's a dream sequence where he was trying to take Mary away from all that. Or was it even a dream sequence? I don't know. Like, there are just some things in the story with the timeline that was like, what does this actually have to do with pushing the story forward? And like I said, some people are talking about the sword fighting or Mary jumping through fire. Like I said, I could believe it, because at a time, if the Romans were after Mary and Joseph, thinking that the one true Son of God is coming to earth, why wouldn't there be battles? Why wouldn't they be chased? Why wouldn't they have to probably go through some oh snap moments to get to point A to point B to point C? So I have no issues with that. Also, there's one thing too that we talked about is, my mom always has struggled with thinking about, like, how does Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos have it so good, then you have all these homeless people have it so bad. I kind of get that, but then it's like socialism as well. It's like everyone's equal, and not everyone is equal when it comes to mind, body, and health. And also talk about that, my mom goes, God is the biggest mass murderer ever. And you got to think about that. And yeah, if that is true, you have Noah's Ark, you have this, you have killing of Jesus, you have serial killers out there, and if everyone is creating God's image, it's like, damn. But anyway, this is about Mary, and I did complain about this when reading or watching a doc of Fathom events where we don't get enough information about Mary, and I think this is a good telling of Mary about what she went through or what she could have went through. Some of the churches say, nope, we don't want you, you're unclean, you're unholy, you have a baby in you, and you're not married yet. So I do like that aspect of, like, not her being called a whore, but her having it being put through these trials and tribulations of, like, is she really ready to be the son of God? And the mother of Jesus. Sorry, good God, Jesus, the Son of God. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, overall, I do think a lot of people are giving this a little bit too much hate. I think the director, the writing, it's a good take, in my opinion. It's an interesting take. It does nothing, like, harmful to the story. And I just think, you know what? I was okay with this movie. So Mary will receive a 3 out of 5 Futon. So he goes at 60%. We'll see the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics, a 31. Audience score of 36. There is 16 critics and over 250 audience. No critic consensus. Like I said, people are having biblical issues and giving it a 0.5 out of 5. At a point, like, I'm okay with liberties being shown of, like, maybe this did happen. I mean, maybe Gabriel showed up at this time and this time. And I'm sorry. At a point, you got to think of, like, the big what ifs, and if what ifs could change the future. 60, 36, 31. Chase Lock here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing, Blue Futontopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching. Have a great night. Watch us take tomorrow, week from a month, and a year from now. I'll ever see a freaking one of you. And like I said, just be good to each other overall, through in and throughout. What does that even mean?